All right, welcome back, folks, to Overlord Prowler's Round Robin, presented by GMA Gaming. Heading into our final game of the night, we got Team Blitzkrieg on the blue side taking on Option 12 on the red side. We just saw Team Phoenix with a very impressive win over White Wolf. So Phoenix and Gale Force thus far tonight have moved to 3-1. Blitzkrieg has a chance to join them up there at the top of the standings, but Option 12 obviously wants to spoil that, keep themselves in contention by going to 2-2. Greg, looking at this matchup right now, what are you thinking? What do you expect to see?
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I think. Oh, we're jumping into that already. I think Peach and Pointy is, in my opinion, legitimately the scariest bot lane in this tournament. Um, the results for their matches haven't necessarily shown that, but I do think that they have a lot of carry potential if they're able to build a comp and defend their AD carry sufficiently. That said, Lord of Admirals is probably the scariest jungler, especially with Menards stepping away. Probably the scariest jungler in the tournament. So it's going to be very interesting to see where the resources go in this matchup and who's able to carry it better, essentially.
And the Lilia band away from Lord of Admirals. We've seen him wreak havoc with that deer so far in this event, as well as others in the past. Option 12 also taking away the Vigar, which I believe is all Fat Lee has had to play so far in this event. So we're going to get to see the mid laner of Blitzkrieg on something else. Graves also banned away from Lord of Admirals. That means the Mordekaiser is available, which I know is another favorite of his that is often banned. Amumu picked up. Could be support, could be jungle.
My guess would be support. I believe Subihiki played it last week,
I think you're right.
and it's pretty effective. It's very very good as far as versatility to set up fights. It's definitely his sort of champion too. He likes the big, heavy engage tanky boys, Nautilus, things like that, Galio. So Amumu is definitely in his wheelhouse.
And Volibear picked up for Eternal Saurus. That's another champion that could go multiple ways. Vayne picked up,
Oh
and I'm just going to
boy,
call it right now. I think that's going Pistol Crab in the mid lane, actually.
interesting.
You don't think of Vayne being a flex pick, but I think with Pistol Crab in the lineup, it is.
I have a theory about this vein, but I'm tentative to throw it out there.
Misfortune for Tilted Pig. I believe that that's a favorite of his. Oh my god, we've got Tilted Pig against Pistol Crab. This is a nightmare for me.
Yeah,
Um,
tilted crab, pistol pig.
Pistol Pig. Oh, I just want to make an alt with that name now. We'll see what Blitzkrieg decides to pick up for their final pick of Phase 1 of Champion Select.
All
If
right.
you're right about that Amumu, then we've got the bot lane picked already.
I mean, it's Curse of the Sad
Oh,
Bullet
a
time.
Zed. Oh, I love to see it. Oh, we don't get to see Zed very often. I was actually just talking to a Truffle source about this yesterday, that I don't know if I've ever seen a Zed in a GMA event, so this is pretty great to see.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw out my wild theory here. Okay, you
Okay.
ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty
Yep.
sure that is a Volibear jungle and a Vayne top.
Vayne top, really? Okay. Doesn't
Now,
seem like the type of champion we see coming out of Eternal Saurus very often.
no, it does not. But I just have this sneaking suspicion. Now, I may be proven wrong immediately here, as soon as they lock an Ornn or something like that. But we will see.
Oh, we see Wukong banned there, so Blitzkrieg do not think it's going to be a Vayne top since they're still aiming bans that direction. Um, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all by the Volibear in the jungle. I know that that's a champion that Queen Elizabeth feels very comfortable on,
Mm-hmm.
and especially with them banning Belveth, which I believe she's played already in this event.
Udyr. That's kind of
The
funny because I don't
Shaco is
think
still available.
the Shaco is still available. I think the Udyr ban is kind of funny because Fat Lee is known for his Udyr, but I don't think
Sure.
he's going to play that mid.
Oh, and there's
And
the
there's a
Shaco ban,
Shaco. Okay.
actually. So they just don't want to deal with the shenanigans of the Shaco. Completely understand that.
I would be remiss if I didn't point out that the Volibear was the champion that Queen Elizabeth chose for her championship splash art.
Mhm. That
So
is, yeah,
definitely knows how to play
absolutely.
that champion.
And set. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we can say it's not going to be a Vayne top at this point.
Okay. Well, so much for my tinfoil hat theory.
They have continued to leave up the Mordekaiser, actually, which I think would be a perfect pick right now for Blitzkrieg because you have this AD mid laner. I think you need to get some magic damage coming from somewhere. But just as I say that, they hover the Trundle.
It's probably
Could be
the
a Trundle top, I
Trundle.
suppose.
Yeah. Hmm.
I would expect either a Mordekaiser or maybe a Cho'Gath here.
That'd be a
I think
lot
we
of
could.
tank. That'd be a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
think
tank.
Cho'Gath is a comfortable champion for gotta get lucky though. And I do think you really want some magic damage coming from whoever you pick here. Yeah, there's the Mordekaiser. I think that that's probably the logical choice there for Blitzkrieg. And
That's a
now we're
scary
going to
comp.
finally get to see where this vein is going. Or not.
I mean, is this has got to be memeing, right? Maybe not. I mean, I know Peach pays Brand and well.
Yeah, but then where is the Janna going?
Okay,
Okay, so
so
it's. I think it's going to be vein mid. I think it's or Pointy on Kog'Maw. I think it's going to be vein mid.
Vayne mid, probably.
A lot of suspense. 45 seconds still. I believe the
Okay,
rules are you can change up till 15 seconds.
all right. So I was partially right. There will be a Volibear in the jungle.
And I like the immediate pick. I don't know if this was in response, but I like the pick of the Janna right after Fatly locked in that Zed. I think that that's a very, very good choice for trying to deal with that assassination potential.
Personally, I would have preferred to see a Lulu. I think that just shuts down the Zed a little harder. That said, Janna can definitely do it, especially if you're standing on your AD carry. You just shield them and ult, and then the Zed is out
Exactly.
of options.
Yeah,
Both work pretty well. I think the Lulu is just you're more likely to live with a Janna, but you're more likely to kill the Zed with the Lulu.
that makes sense. Yeah, and also I think the Lulu could have been outstanding for the speed up.
That's
I'm
true.
blanking on the name of the skill right now, but just any Juggermaw comp. Not that this is a Juggermaw comp exactly, but anytime you have a Kog'Maw, having the Lulu potential with it is outstanding. Not that Janna can't do a lot of the same things, but not quite all the same things.
This will be interesting. The Vayne versus the Zed mid. This is not what I would consider first and foremost a normal mid matchup to begin with, but especially not in GMA events. This is way into the weeds.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Truffle Source about this yesterday, and we were both sort of lamenting the lack of AD mid laners that we see in GMA events in general. It seems like a lot of time people are satisfied to just go with the traditional roles of, the mage in the mid lane, the AD carry, the tank in the top lane type things, and so it's cool to see things get shaken up a little bit. I do want to point out, obviously, Kog'Maw gets a little bit of mixed damage, but excuse me, primarily, I think this Trundle is going to be able to, well, Trundle and the Amumu are going to be able to get extremely tanky against this heavily physical damage comp.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Vayne will get some true damage eventually. Um, However, you have a very good point. They don't have a good magic damage source. Flip side, the Blitzkrieg lineup also doesn't have a good magic damage source outside of Mordekaiser. So, unless there's some sort of Mage Fortune action going on. So, it's overall pretty heavy AD with, a couple little asterisks on both sides.
And I guess, I mean, we were just talking to Foeden about the Gnasher's Tooth Riftmaker Volibear build. Not sure if Queen Elizabeth was listening in on that, but, maybe we see her give a shot at that build. And I think Lord of Admirals, I think you're right that traditionally, I wouldn't say that Mordekaiser in this comp brings a ton of magic damage, but I think in the hands of Lord of Admirals, we're going to see it perform that role just fine.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, obviously, it would be it's a different story if he had managed to get his Lilia that he's so well known for and is such a pain to deal with. But obviously, that was banned, and rightfully so. So he is falling back on the Mordekaiser. As someone pointed out, I think it was Divakin in the chat, letting him have it is a little scary. I'd make the counter argument that you can't ban everything. You can certainly try, but Lord of Admiral's pool is quite deep, almost as deep as the ocean that perhaps he's the admiral of. So you're going to have a hard time completely banning him out.
Yeah, I mean, I do wonder if the Udyr ban was just for fun, and if that was kind of a waste, and you could have banned out that Mordekaiser instead. Um, I appreciate folks just having a little fun, memeing a little bit, but I do think they might rue that decision, not only because Lord of Admirals is so good on this Mordekaiser, but also just because, as I was saying earlier, I think it was just the perfect pick for this comp. with the Zed already locked in. They needed magic damage from somewhere, and you gave them a very logical choice.
Could have played Rumble in the jungle. Really mix it up.
Oh, I miss when Rumble was a jungler. That was pretty fun. The equalizer just coming out of nowhere when you didn't even know the Rumble was nearby. Skins. I like the synergy of the Set and the Volibear.
Yeah, this one's tough to call, actually. They're all pretty good.
Everybody has skins, so good job giving Riot money, everybody. Always love Pugmaw.
See, I don't. I think it's creepy.
Aw, how dare you?
It's creepy. Look at it.
He's a pupper.
He's a creepy pupper.
God, why are you so harsh on puppers?
Only puppers that are creepy.
And loud.
And
Or is not.
Well, he can be creepy.
Fair enough. I wouldn't know. I haven't seen that side of him, fortunately. I'm going to give it to option 12 just because I like the synergy of the Set and the Volibear. That pretty much breaks the tie for me. I saw a ping coming out in the river. Is someone going to do something? No, it doesn't look like it.
I'll say credit where credit's due. Even though option 12 has been kind of having some difficulty closing out games, they are pretty bold on their level 1 strategies. They're usually the ones that are kind of positioning a little bit more far forward, and it looks like they're not doing it now that I've said that. So go figure.
We're talking in the last game about ruining your level 1 laning phase by skilling for a level 1 play. How about a condemn flash from Pistol Crab at level 1? Love to see it.
That would be impressive, if not the most... I don't know how effective that would be with no one else near him, but, you know, sometimes it's about sending a message.
I will say I'm pretty surprised by Pistol Crab's choice of the cleanse here, especially when you know you're going up against the Zed. I feel like bringing the exhaust or a heal would have been, you know, certainly a tempting choice, but respect to him for feeling like he can survive the all-in without something like that.
I wonder if that's just aimed at Mordekaiser.
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. At the same time, though, I think if you're doing what you want to be doing as Vayne, you can actually win that battle in the Death Realm. You're one of the few champions that I think can actually manage that.
This is really scary.
And Tilted Pig just waiting for Pointy as Princess Peach comes down into lane.
Check it. Please check it.
And jump in from CB Hickey right away. Ignite goes down real quick. Princess Peach does flash. Sort of a little game of chicken there. Might have been able to escape without it, as it looked like Hickey and Tilted Pig were walking away by that point, but I understand not wanting to give that kill away right away.
I do not believe that is the first time that the Blitzkrieg bot lane has done that. So I would have hoped to have seen at least like a cursory check or throw a ward in there or something like that. But it is what it is. Nobody died, although a flash did get burned.
Nice job from Pistol Crab there, getting that 3-shot combo down. Procking Silver Bolts is so huge on Vayne in lane phase, especially in a solo lane. Gotta get lucky in Eternal Stars, just smacking each other. And we saw a couple shield bows from White Wolf in the last game that I wasn't sure about, but I think absolutely we're going to see at least one in this game, and I think it'll be the right choice.
Yeah, I think it's going to be mandatory here. Lots of damage.
Eternal Stars catches on to Gotta Get Lucky, and Queen Elizabeth is here as well. Hold on to... Oh, I thought Elizabeth might try the flash stun there, but Gotta Get Lucky able to retreat.
Yeah, might have been able to complete the kill if she'd done the flash, although there was no guarantee that Lucky wouldn't have just flashed right away afterwards. By doing it this way, you get the flash without having to actually burn your own, so it's probably fine, all things considered. Although Lord of Admirals really moves into counter jungle.
Yeah, that's such a smart move from Lord of Admirals. A lot of damage comes down Pointy. Actually, Hickey, I don't know if you wanted that, has to flash away, but now Pointy and Princess Peach, they are going too far forward as Fat Lee is first to the roam. Hickey, one more bandage top. Oh my god, it catches all the way onto Princess Peach. Heal still available for Princess Peach, though, and Hickey, has he gone too far a second time? Can Pointy just stay close enough? He does get the kill, and Queen Elizabeth is here, and Pointy's going to have his passive. So Tilted Pig is going to drop, and Queen Elizabeth actually picks up the kill. And, oh, unfortunate actually there for Pointy is he could have gotten that kill with his passive.
Yeah, I think I probably would have given it to Pointy there. That said, still overall a pretty good exchange for option 12 there. Really awkward bandage. I understand what CB Hickey was going for. I'm sure he didn't anticipate that flash dragging him into the tri-brush there, but pretty well done, all things considered.
And both summoners down for Fat Lee, which Pistol Crab will be feeling very happy to see.
I also appreciate that Option
Oh, go
12
ahead.
was so proactive about recognizing that because Queen Elizabeth had showed top to try to get the flash off of Gotta Get Lucky or potentially the kill, they knew that Lord of Admirals would pull them and invade like that, and as a result, they responded accordingly. Whereas that could have very easily just been a free blue.
And Eternal Saurus is just bullying Gotta Get Lucky at this point. Huge health bar advantage again, and Gotta Get Lucky had to use his teleport to get back to lane. Had to use that flash. Lord of Admirals is moseying his way up towards this side of the map though, so we'll see if Eternal Saurus' Spidey Senses Tingling does have a ward, but it's pretty close to the lane, so if Lord of Admirals gets an angle, he might still be able to get in there to affect things. Taking the Scuttle Crab right now, it looks like, as Tilted Pig and CB Hickey just try to farm up under turret. And yeah, as I was going to say earlier, Pistol Crab got a level advantage off of Fat Lee roaming there, which is very, very important in a matchup against Zed. You do not ever want to fall behind in levels against Zed. Eternal Saurus just misses the Facebreaker that time. Gotta get lucky. Nice job. And Lord of Admirals is just farming up a storm right now, taking away another camp behind enemy lines. Fat Lee is up in the top side protecting his jungler, but ceding more experience.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that they're going to be putting the priority on getting the jungler advantage here, which is, it's a legitimate strategy, it's fair, but I do worry that, a Zed that falls behind is not a very scary Zed.
Eternal Saurus grabs on to Gotta Get Lucky again, throws down a few punches.
Trundle's really having a difficult time against this.
King's coming down to the bot lane. They really want to go after Hickey. Huge damage after the slow from Princess Peach, and Hickey has to just walk away. No flash on that Amumu for another 2 minutes or so. Pointy's flash will take even longer to come back, though. And it's worth noting, Pointy actually really falling behind in CS down here in the bot lane. Did die in that skirmish, which certainly doesn't help. Queen Elizabeth is down in the bot lane, or down in the area. I don't think she's been seen yet. And Gotta Get Lucky has made it to level 6, which obviously helps him to be safe here, since he'll have that ultimate to steal some stats in a 1v1 situation.
Ooh, this is an early dragon.
A lot of damage came out. Yeah, dragon comes out. Word of Admirals hops into the pit by himself. This could be very, very dangerous. Queen Elizabeth gets pulled, though. That's so much damage. Pistol Crab is trying to put down the damage. He's in a very, very strange spot, though. Does have the final hour activated. In goes Fat Lee with the death mark. Gets stunned up, though, and does get out. Pointy, can he run him down with one more auto? He does. Lord of Admirals is still in the pit and takes the dragon away. Does not have flash, though. Can he somehow win this situation? Condemn will be available again soon. Pistol Crab doesn't even need it. They take down Lord of Admirals, so the Drake goes over to Blitzkrieg, but a bunch of kills went over to key members of Option 12.
Yeah, I think that's actually probably a trade that Option 12 will be very happy with. In actuality, they probably could have just full-on engaged on the Mordekaiser as soon as he showed up in the pit and possibly bursted him, since he wasn't level 6 yet. That said, if you're going to give up the dragon... Oh, hold on.
The pig knocked up. Pointy will probably just get a few free pot shots down. Actually, may have stepped too far forward. CB Hickey goes in, but Tilted Pig doesn't have any mana. Didn't really want to follow up on that.
Yeah, that was a bandage. I don't think either one of them actually wanted Pointy or Amumu.
Big damage from Fat Lee onto Pistol Crab in the mid lane. And there's Gotta Get Lucky. He's activated the subjugation, so he wants this fight onto Eternal Source right now. And Eternal Source has already used the Haymaker, but able to just walk away.
Yeah, not too shabby, all things considered.
CB Hickey goes in onto Princess Peach. Pointy is pretty low, though, so I don't think they can fight this. Tilted Pig is level 6.
Yeah, Curse of the Sad Bullet Time will be coming up pretty soon here. They are almost in position to do that.
It's pretty surprising to me that there's such large CS advantages in, well, large in the bot lane, and it's not that large in the mid lane, but given how much Fat Lee has been roaming, I'm a little surprised to see him ahead in CS.
Lord of Admirals clearing out all of this vision in the bot half of the map here.
To go back to that dragon fight, though, yeah, I agree. If you're option 12, you're feeling okay about that. You did miss out on the Drake, but it's the first one, as Pistol Crab running up towards Lord of Admirals, but Pistol Crab could be in trouble here as Fatly, he has the Death Mark available, and there it comes. He's already cycled the one cooldown. Nice condemn, though, from Pistol Crab, but he's got to get away, as Lord of Admirals is first to the play. The pole does not quite land, but he does have Ghost, and into the Death Realm he goes. Pistol Crab, oh no, that cleanse did not get him out of it, and he will drop. Maybe he didn't know the interaction on that, but yeah, the cleanse not getting him out of the Death Realm. Here's bullet time from Tilted Pig. What a placement for that. Elizabeth melts under the power. Pointy has to flash away from Lord of Admirals, and this Mordekaiser starting to do work now.
Yeah, the counter jungling that Lord of Admirals has been doing is really starting to show its stripes here. I think if Queen Elizabeth had managed to get to level 6 and had ult, she probably could have gotten out of that alive. There's just no real way to stop it at this point, short of a full-on team commit.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate for Pistol Crab because he was winning that duel against the Zed. Would have won it, but Lord of Admirals running up just forced Pistol Crab to retreat. Ended up dying anyway, so maybe he could have stayed in and gotten a kill before dying, but the Death Realm still probably would have taken him away from the Zed before he could have gotten that damage down. Eternal Source and Gotta Get Lucky continuing to brawl. Subjugation went down again for this Trundle, and you see how much damage is coming out. Flash away from Eternal Source. Gotta Get Lucky chooses not to flash and follow.
Yeah, I think to your point about the cleanse, I suspect that is a... what he probably thought was a very good idea to take for the Mordekaiser is actually probably not going to pan out now, and may have to pay the QSS tax.
Yeah, I was wondering. I didn't think that cleanse worked.
I didn't think it did either.
But Pistol Crab is a better player than me, so I didn't doubt it when I saw it. Coming up towards Gotta Get Lucky here, who does not have Subjugation, does have Flash, so we'll see if Pistol Crab can pick this off. He is up near a wall. Pistol Crab should be able to find this angle very easily. Goes right for the Condemn early, and I don't think there's any way Gotta Get Lucky gets out of this, even if he flashes. He will not. Good discipline on that. So Pistol Crab gets a little bit of gold back after losing that fight against the Mordekaiser.
And now he's taxing the lane very heavily. Although, interestingly enough, he does need the farm at the moment. And last I heard, a fed Vayne is not a bad thing.
Yeah, does not have the shield bow yet, which is what's really going to make the duels against the Zed manageable, even though we saw him already play one very well just a moment ago. Tilted Pig continuing to maintain a nice little CS lead in the bot lane, and Fat Lee's lead in the mid lane has actually grown as well. So everybody across the side of Blitzkrieg doing a nice job farming. Eternal Source with a slight lead in the top lane though. Fat Lee not quite knocked up by the Howling Gale. And Rift Herald actually summoned up. They're just going to send that towards the bot lane while everyone else brawls for the dragon. Not sure if option 12 is actually giving this up. They've all grouped up now. Queen Elizabeth is at about 70% health and taken down pretty far by that ZQ. Eternal Source dragged back in. In goes Queen Elizabeth. There's the engage. CB Hickey in the backline. Huge bullet time. Elizabeth just melts. Eternal Source, though, into the backline. Can he get the Haymaker off? It doesn't matter. Lord of Admirals is just cleaning up everybody. Princess Peach going to drop as well. Fat Lee flashes over for the final auto attack. Pistol Crab all alone. Final hour was not available, so that Vayne couldn't even really get in and try to do Vayne things. Don't think it would have mattered as Blitzkrieg smashed that fight and take their second Drake.
Yeah, I think option 12 is a little too squishy to take a full-on 5v5 like that. Now the more I look at it, actually, CB Hickey almost died. I don't really know how they actually do win a 5v5 unless they get exceptionally far ahead on the rate of carries. It's going to be a very, very tricky one to pull off.
Yeah, I think that Pistol Crab is going to have to do some magic in these fights, because Pointy's not going to be able to melt everybody for another 15-20 minutes at least. Over a 4,000 gold lead all of a sudden for Blitzkrieg, and really got to shout out Lord of Admirals, just playing outstanding on this Mordekaiser.
Yeah, I think option 12's play here should be just to relax and scale as best you can. You have two of the scariest scaling AD carries in the game on your team. You just need to be patient.
And they get a plate before they go away. They do get one right before the buzzer, but now they're going to be in trouble. They're going to die for it. Can Princess Peach get away at least? Oh, Lord of Admirals is running after. Has the ghost popped in? This Janna could be in trouble. No, they will let her go. Pistol Crab and Fat Lee brawling in the mid lane. There comes the Death Mark. Condemn is not going to be quite enough. Got the double shuriken. Big time from Fat Lee there. That was the key at the end of that fight. Pistol Crab couldn't quite get away from him. And there's the first assassination by the Zed in a 1v1 situation.
Yeah, I think the only thing you can do in that sort of situation is the Vayne is like, honestly, maybe even flash into tower range and try to condemn into turret or something like that. I don't even know how you get out of that situation, especially not with
there was no angle for the condemn to find a wall really. Second time we've seen that tonight where the player who doesn't want to be knocked into the wall has done a great job just making sure they're positioned as far away from all of them as possible. Eternal Source has got to get lucky brawling in the top side. Tilted Pig comes out, and there is the bullet time. Eternal Source able to just skirt to one side, as Gotta Get Lucky wasn't able to threaten. The wave wasn't quite there yet. Here comes Pistol Crab and Queen Elizabeth. We'll see what happens here as Gotta Get Lucky does have subjugation up, so he can get very, very tanky if he needs to. Pistol Crab, he looks like he really wants this, but everyone else backed away from a potential engage.
Yeah, I'm not sure they win that. They're just their tanks are not quite tanky yet. They both are going more of a hybrid damage tank build, and as a result, they just don't have the
Divine Sunderer potentially for both.
Yeah, they just don't have the beef yet.
2 turrets have gone down so far for the side of Blitzkrieg, as Eternal could be in trouble here again. Gotta Get Lucky pops the subjugation, trade of flashes. I think just one more bite. Yep, just gonna smack him down. Eventually, Gotta Get Lucky. Nice job with the patience. Eventually gets that solo kill he's been coveting for a while. That way, he could be in a little bit of trouble here. He is all alone. The Condemn doesn't quite catch onto the wall, but Pistol Crab, he really wants this. Death Mark is available, so we'll see who comes out on top of this one. Vision is there for Fat Lee in the brush, but it doesn't matter. Pistol Crab able to dodge the shurikens that time and pick up the kill.
He's got a shield bow now. And it's making a difference. All this push in the mid lane is not looking good for that tower's health, I must say.
Yeah, it will melt pretty quickly here. Lord of Admirals is staying with it, has the shield to tank up those last couple tower shots, and in the top lane, Gotta Get Lucky is shoving things down pretty well. Goldweed, excuse me, has ballooned up to almost 6,000. So, nice job by Option 12 to find that pick onto Fat Lee, but they continue to lose gold across the rest of the map.
Yeah, I wonder if a split push isn't the way to go here. Obviously, you'd be sacrificing objectives across the map if you're really committing to that, but the Vayne can trash towers pretty quickly. That might be the superior play here, rather than try to win a full 5v5, at least at this point.
Yeah, that's my first instinct as well here, is just try to get Pointy as much farm as you can, and send Pistol Crab somewhere else. I don't know if he can win the duel against the Mordekaiser right now. We've seen the duel against the Zed is basically a skill matchup at this point, but I think that that's better than trying to fight, you know, in my opinion, lost cause 5v5s at this point. Lord of Admirals is just so powerful right now, and there's no grievous wounds on the side of Option 12 yet.
Yeah, I feel like that's a common issue that we've seen a lot of teams who have taken losses in this tournament have undergone. Just not the Grievous that they need to secure these things. Although, is this a counter? Yeah, it's a counter Herald.
I think they know they can't fight the dragon, so just looking to pick up something on the other side. Maybe they can get a turret off of this.
Yeah, that's probably the
whole point.
It's probably a good play. They need to take the incremental wins where they can.
Oh, Eternal Source is teleported down to try to defend that bot lane tower, but there's a lot of support there. Big haymaker, actually. Can he at least trade one back? Not quite. Good juggling of the turret aggro. Meanwhile, Fat Lee was looking for Princess Peach. Didn't really land much damage. Uses the clone to get back under tower, but Pointy will pick up that kill. So Fat Lee a little too aggressive there. It's a trade of kills across the map, but the turret also went down in the favor of Blitzkrieg. Objective bounties are a thing now, so maybe some gold could be recouped for the side of Option 12 through that means.
I liked the play that option 12 did there, which was to go for the Herald rather than even try to challenge for the Dragon. We called it out. It makes sense. They just need to scale. They need to take their time. I wonder why... I'm surprised that they're... Oh, never mind. That's the Herald is on the set, not the Fully Bear. I was say I was surprised that they didn't drop the Herald in the top lane there, since it was pretty unopposed.
Yeah,
But that's because she didn't
nice
have it.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have on Elizabeth there, but in the pocket of set, we'll see what kind of usage they can get if they can optimize it. Mid lane turret is about half health, so you could maybe get that down. Missile Crab picking up a red buff. That'll feel nice for him. And yeah, as you said, I agree that the trade of Herald for Dragon needed to happen, but it's just scary now with Blitzkrieg being on Soul Point. Elizabeth and Eternal might look for a play here up in the top lane, but gotta get lucky with that subjugation. He might even be able to survive this 1v2 if they go for it. Looks like Elizabeth is going to back off the play anyways. Fat Lee in the bot side, we might get that that split push you were talking about between Pistol Crab and Fat Lee. Princess Peach just hanging out, throwing out some pocket shields. And yeah, gotta get lucky is just at this point now where Eternal Source can't really bother him the way he was in the early laning phase.
Yeah, this is going to be a tricky one. I'm just looking at the initiation options that option 12 has, and they don't really have many short of jumping at them. This almost feels like a kite backwards type of team. Which...
Yeah, I think so. Unless Eternal Source can find, you know, the perfect ultimate, maybe bringing that Trundle back into the Misfortune and the Zed or something, but... Actually, looking for a play there was Eternal Source. I'm not sure if they even wanted it if he could have found it. It's a 3v3 up here.
Yeah.
And Ward of Admirals would be able to join much quicker than anyone else on the side of option 12. Still running that Ghost, which is something that you have to account for, even though it's not always a summoner spell that you expect to see. Ooh, Fatly, so much damage onto Princess Peach. Doesn't decide to go in for the death mark. Maybe could have, but I like the discipline there.
The Eternal needs to get rid of this Herald soon. It's going to time out if he's not careful.
Yeah, I really feel like they need to send Eternal, at least find a way to mosey him up to the mid lane so he can at least drop it.
Right.
But Lord of Admirals is keeping that wave pushed, and they don't really have enough vision for Eternal to be able to safely go down there.
Yeah, he may just have to drop it for the sake of not burning it entirely. Which is obviously not
going
to
do. If you're option 12 right now, even if you have to give up one of these inner towers, maybe this top lane inner tower is the only inner one you have left, send some resources somewhere else, try to get a pick, maybe onto Fat Lee again, even if it takes 3 or 4 members, and then you can drop that Herald in the bot lane. But no, they do just have to drop it in the top lane, so unfortunate, not able to use that very well.
Yeah, that's super suboptimal. Lucky's just gonna murder it, and a bit of a waste, unfortunately.
And ping's coming out onto the Drake now as Blitzkrieg, they want to wrap this game up with a soul. 35 seconds, it's Ocean Soul, which would be massive for a team like this. Already so much health regen on some of these champions, but good luck getting the damage to stick with an Ocean Soul on top of a Mordekaiser or a Trundle.
Option 12 has to fight this one, which...
Yeah, and Pointy's still sitting on only 1 item, so just not going to be able to dish out the damage that you would like to see from a Kog'Maw. Gotta get lucky, is still split pushing up in the top side and does have teleport available, so this is a very, very scary situation. That Trundle is going to be able to come down to that ward in the Tri-Brush perhaps, or he's got a whole wave in the bot lane that he can come to. That way getting some damage onto Eternal Source, and they pop. They look like they wanted to take a fight. Gotta get lucky is still on the turret up in the top side. He'll probably channel that teleport now, or will they just look for a steal and take the inhibitor? Gotta get lucky, or excuse me, Lord of Admirals trying to get in the pit. There's the bullet time. Elizabeth taken so low, and she's down before the smite can come out. CB Hickey's alone in the pit. Pistol Crab trying his best, does go down. Princess Peach is all that's left. It's gonna be a clean ace. Gotta get lucky, didn't even have to come to the fight. There's the Ocean Soul, and that should be the game.
Yeah, that's a rough one. They fell a little bit too far behind in the early game. The scaling, I think, is actually on their side if they had enough time, but they are not going to have enough time for this game.
So that means that Team Blitzkrieg will move to 3-1. We were talking to Foeden just a moment ago. He called out Blitzkrieg specifically as saying a team that they are maybe not worried about, but that they certainly see as a threat. And it's going to be Blitzkrieg joining Gale Force. And yeah, at the top of the standings at 3-1. Really, really impressive stuff.
And that Fat Lee Zed did a lot of damage.
Yeah, he did. It didn't seem like, he was quite being allowed to play the freewheeling Zed style that you see a lot of Zed players use, but was just finding those combos with the shurikens to chunk people out before fights even started.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see. Any stats specifically you want to call out?
Well, I can't see too many of them. I will point out that the damage distribution is where you'd expect to see it for option 12. Both the ADA carries did a fair chunk, although I gotta give credit where credit's due. The Eternal Saurus set did a ton of damage. Even across both teams, it did a ton of damage. It's just they weren't able to bring it quite home.
Yeah, relatively low damage totals. I think across both teams, I think it's just because the fights were so explosive and happened so fast that you didn't really see a lot of, chip damage and harass going on. Things just popped off, or they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, though, yeah, really, really impressive game from Blitzkrieg. Lord of Admirals on that Mordekaiser continuing to be a monster. Got any ideas of who we should chat with after that one?
Well, taking a look at the Blitzkrieg lobby, at the moment, our choices are Tilted Pig, CB Hickey, or Gotta Get Lucky, because the other two have disappeared.
All right, let's get Tilted Pig in here.
Sounds
Haven't
good.
heard from him yet this split. Hey, Tilted Pig, congrats on the win.
Oh, hi. Thank you.
Oh yeah, we moved you. Sorry. Here you are.
Surprise!
You're being interviewed. You want to start us off this time, Greg?
Sure. So I guess I have a question for you about the comp that I've seen you pull out a couple times now, at the good old Curse of the Sad bullet time. Obviously very, very destructive, very, very potent. Are you surprised that you continue to get access to that combo, and why do you think that is?
I'm not. I think a lot of the teams were drafting like Zax and stuff that can jump on me. This game, I think there was literally only Set or Volley Bear that like could close that distance, which meant I'm not sure why they let me get Misfortune then. Or like personally, but we've also been like practicing the Amumu thing, and so yeah, that combo is there. I think what we realized earlier on is that like, especially when they locked in like the Kog'Maw, and we were like, okay, we need to win earlier. We can't just like wait for combos. We have to win earlier and push like an advantage with Big Misfortunes and early enchant versus like Kog'Maw, which will just destroy me later on. And so we were really like, okay, we have a wombo combo, but we also need to just like fight faster and earlier. And so we were trying to take the fight much quicker this time. But I'm not sure why they didn't ban Misfortune if they didn't pick something like the Zax and stuff. So yeah, I'm not sure on that. But I'm happy with it. I won't argue.
Fair enough. Now, we asked Foeden after the last game about other teams that he, pays attention to, that certainly are on his radar. And he called you guys out. He said Blitzkrieg is a team that, we certainly know can be a serious threat. I'm asking you now. You guys joined Phoenix and Gale Force at the top of the standings, tied at 3-1. Is there any particular team that you're looking out for that you're thinking like, oh, that's probably who we're going to meet in the finals?
Honestly, I haven't been like maybe mentally power ranking all the teams because every week I feel like these games are really close. And so it's been kind of hard to be like, yeah, this is just like the strongest team. I'm super scared of this one because every game seems to be kind of like, ooh, it could go either way. And I've been, I guess personally, just been like, if our team is like, I'm way more focused on just getting us to play as a team, have fun, and just like be the best we can be. And then no matter who our opponents are, we have that confidence behind us to play the best team, but best showing that we can give. So I haven't been like power ranking them and everything. So I can't really say like that one team. But that's the thing. Every team feels like super scary in a way because they're all so close. We're all like, I mean, there was like a 3-way tie this week. There's still a 3-way tie now. Like it's a very close bracket, and so I can't say like anyone to a team, but yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. No, I like that mentality. You got anything else, Greg? Or
No,
think
just
we're gonna-
once again, congratulations. Well played.
Oh, thank you, and thanks for you guys and casting and everything, and my team for cool, and thank you guys all and all the opponents. It's been really fun split so far. Really great.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
You too, guys. Thank you.
All right, folks. Well, as we've mentioned a couple times, that win from Blitzkrieg means that we've got a 3-way tie up at the top of the standings. Gale Force, Phoenix, and Blitzkrieg all moving up to 3-1. But as you know, in this round-robin tournament, only the top 2 get to play in the finals. So we'll have some fireworks next week in the finale of the regular split. Anything else? Any closing thoughts, Greg?
Nothing from me. Just well played to all the teams, and looking forward to the next week and finishing out the regular season.
All right, well, thank you guys, all of you again, for joining us here for Overlord Prowler's Round Robin, presented by GMA Gaming. I'm Jeff, joined by Greg tonight. We will be back with 3 more games next week at 6:30 p.m. Central again. Until then, hope you all have a great week.